become a parenting expert, helping young parents develop strategies to be more successful as parents, and my children are only imaginary, which also pisses parents off that I've become a parenting expert and I don't have any. So a lot of people who interact with me on a regular basis have felt that long before I am helpful to their self-esteem, I'm quite damaging to their self-esteem. And I think we need to take a good long look in the mirror at what are our faults, what are the ugly things about us, where is it that we most need to improve before we can start seeing the good stuff. Because if all we do is look in the mirror and see the good stuff, and our best friends and our girlfriends and our parents are afraid to tell us about all the ugliness about us, which is often the case, nobody has truly objective support systems in their lives that say, you know what, you really don't look as good as you could. And I feel that that's what I'm there for. So I find it funny that I become a self-esteem expert on a Gemini award-winning television show, X-Weighted, when I have no self-esteem training other than just trying to make people look good and believing that everybody can. Some have to work harder at it than others, but it is possible for every single person in the world to look good if you are a one-eyed, toothless, God knows what. I firmly believe I do have some tools that will be useful to you and help you look at least better than you do. And I believe we all deserve to look beautiful, we all deserve to feel beautiful, that it's attainable, that it is universal, everyone can have it, it's out there for everybody. We just need to put together the tools to find out what it is every single person in this world uniquely needs to look and feel beautiful. So I'm on this television show, I'm a self-esteem expert. One of the things that I do is make people cry most of the time. And they're not at all expecting that when the little gay guy comes in, he's going to make them cry, but quite frequently I do, and then they get really pissed off. And then it takes 6 months for them to believe everything I say because they emerge from the show looking absolutely gorgeous. They haven't quite achieved their goals, but I've been able to put the wardrobe and the hair and makeup in place that makes them at least look like they've been successful at what they've set out to do. And I don't even really believe in self-esteem. I think self-esteem is overrated. I think we live in a culture that has done so much talking about self-esteem. Self-esteem is so important. Self-esteem is so important. Self-esteem is so important. Well, typically I find self-esteem most of the time to be a pile of shit because our parents and our teachers and our girlfriends are all telling us we're amazing. We're living in a culture where we're telling little kids who have done nothing amazing that they're amazing. We're teaching people to have self-esteem, people who shouldn't have self-esteem, people who need to learn a little bit more and become resilient and confident. We're teaching them to have self-esteem when really they haven't done anything. We're teaching our little kids that they're great when they're bullies. We're teaching our kids who are underachievers that they're great when they don't work hard enough. We have an entire generation of young adults entering the world who have been told for the last 20 years by their teachers, by their parents, by their grandparents that they're amazing at everything they do, and they suck at everything except Facebook and texting. And so this is what self-esteem has done. Self-esteem has built a false sense of confidence in an entire generation of people who think all they have to do is be really witty on Facebook and be able to text with one hand and they're amazing. Well, when you're working the deep fryer at McDonald's and all you're doing is this, those French fries are gonna suck. And when you work for me and all you do is this, when you're supposed to be cutting hair or making muffins or interacting with clients or making people look and feel beautiful, you're fired. We have a rule at work that you have to unplug everything when you walk through the door. Cell phones are to be turned off. No one, when they walk into 2606 Agricola Street on the corner of North and Agricola Street, is actually able to be plugged in to anything while they're on the premises. It is just one of the rules we have. Because it's the only way I can manage the generation of people in the world who think they have to be on Facebook or texting in order to have value. So these are the people that we've instilled with this false sense of self-esteem. Self-esteem has become this thing that people get instead of this thing that they earn or this thing that they that is instilled in them. Self-esteem is no longer something that's profound. So when people say to me, oh, you're so lucky you have self-esteem, I honestly think self-esteem is overrated. I am confident, absolutely, but sometimes confidence has gotten in the way of my success, so I don't think confidence is even... I think confidence is actually overrated as well. One of the things that I feel blessed to have, and I see the people on X-Weighted who are most successful have that allows them to achieve their goals, without a doubt, is resiliency. Resiliency is a gem. Resiliency is precious. Resiliency is that one thing that has allowed every successful person to be successful. Resiliency is that magical pill every single person who wants to lose 20 pounds is looking for. Everyone's looking for a weight loss piece of magic. People come to me all the time and say, listen, you're on that show, X-Weighted. What's the #1 best secret to losing as much weight as you possibly can in as little amount of time as possible? Everybody wants to achieve amazing things and have to output as little energy as possible. They're looking for a magic pill. If I could give every single person one little blue pill, well, actually, there are blue pills that do create amazing things for people. That's not what I'm talking about. And that blue pill also builds people's, self-confidence and self-esteem as well. But unfortunately, there is a blue pill that is able to deal with erections, but not for self-confidence or weight loss. And that the one thing, that magic ingredient that everybody who has been successful has is resiliency. Resiliency will allow you to lose weight. Resiliency will allow you to overcome the issues that you're having with your children. Resiliency will allow you to excel in your professional life. Resiliency will allow you to learn from what it is you suck at. Resiliency will allow you to be able to become better at what you do every day. Resiliency will give you the tenaciousness to constantly improve every area of your life, because if one day you wake up and you realize or think, you know what, I'm good enough exactly the way I am, I no longer need to learn or get better, you're going to start sucking again. So resiliency is that one ingredient that every single person who has achieved anything amazing has. Resiliency is what makes people great. Resiliency is about having the courage and the confidence to be able to learn from your mistakes. Resiliency is knowing that you have within you the potency to have an impact, that you are able to make a difference in everything it is that you do. You're able to inspire other people. You're able to achieve things that you would not have thought possible. You can learn from your mistakes, and you can change the world. I see people who have absolutely nothing in the different programs that we participate in, and I look at people who struggle, and the people that we seem to work with don't look like any of you at all. They don't look like you at all. These are people who are in the criminal justice system. These are people who line up to get free food. These are people who are so reliant on the generosity of others that to be even in a room like this, seeking resources so that they could be successful at anything, they're not even there yet. But these people have resiliency. They have pride. They smile. They laugh. They look at what it is they don't have and focus on some of the things that they do have that they can be proud of. We are so hung up on what it is we don't have in the world, or what it is we're not good at. We're not looking out into the world and realizing there are opportunities for us to become amazing. There's opportunities for us to be able to have an impact. There's opportunities for us to be successful every single day. But the one thing that it is that we need in order to do that is just a little bit of resiliency. So when we move forward and start talking about self-confidence and self-esteem, I want everyone to realize there's really nothing great about it. There's nothing great about self-esteem, because we can all get it if we're told we're amazing. But unless you are actually amazing, unless you are actually going out and changing the world, unless you're an actual agent of change, doing something that can inspire other people, all the self-esteem in the world isn't going to make a difference. It's that resiliency that I think is the magic pill that will help every single person who has ever failed at anything learn how not to be a failure. So if I could share anything with any of you today, that would be it. That it is through failure we become amazing. And it's when we are amazing, people notice. And when people start noticing, opportunities happen. Because I had to fail in TV. I had to fail in business. And I spent my whole life failing as an athlete in order to have opportunities that I could walk away from and say, do you know what? I'm actually pretty great. And I want to be greater and greater and greater. So I hope I continue to learn and learn and learn. But I know deep down that the thing that has separated me from all the other gay kids that have committed suicide in the last 2 years, at 17, I would never have thought of jumping off the bridge just because I was gay, because I was too resilient. And that getting beat up didn't keep me from being gay. Getting beat up didn't keep me from being who I was. I irritated the crap out of everybody because I was so gay. But I look at youth in our world today, youth that have been told by everybody that they're amazing, and then as soon as they're called gay, they jump off a bridge. That is not amazing. And if those kids actually had confidence, they would be able to face the challenges in their lives and be able to learn. It is we have replaced self-confidence, or I should say we have replaced resiliency with self-confidence, and resiliency is not going to save the life of a gay teenager who's going to jump off a bridge or hang himself in his parents' basement. Self-confidence isn't going to do that, but resiliency will. And that's just one little shout out I wanted to give, because I think it's very important that we talk about resiliency, because resiliency can save lives and can make everybody in this room better at what they do. Does anyone have any questions before I go? Anyone? Because I'm about to say thank you very much.
Being a teacher myself, a high school teacher, I have to say those were definitely words of wisdom. Another hand for Mr. Fred Connors. He did a great job. If you want to chat with him, he'll be over here on my left in the Optimyz speakers corner. And he'll be there to chat one-on-one about entrepreneurship, goal setting, or anything else you want to talk about for the next 20 minutes or so. Thank you.
He must do it, but like I'm sure he's like really. We're gonna go.